Hey pretty girls! I'm here with a new video all about how to get that sort of bronzy glowy look that you guys have seen in the last couple of videos. I've gotten a ton of comments from you guys asking about how I achieved that look, how to get that yourself, what products I'm using, because you all know very well I am super pasty white. I use a plethora of products to get the kind of glowy, subtle tan kind of thing going on. I wore it in my wedding. I've worn it ever since, and you guys have been asking about it. So here we go, let's just get into some of the products. So first of all, I don't go out in the sun. I mean, I do go out in the sun, but I don't go out and like bake in the sun because I don't ever tan, I just burn. So instead I get all of my stuff from a bottle. I don't even, well, I've gone spray tanning a couple of times for like events and things, like weddings, and not even my own wedding. I did not even go spray tanning for my own wedding. I actually used this, which is, sorry, hair, there we go. I use the Saint Tropez Self Tan, which is their bronzing mousse, and it is fantastic, guys. I love this product. This is, I think, my third bottle of it, actually. The tan is so gorgeous. I have it on right now. I just reapplied it this morning, and it, you know, it stays on, it doesn't streak. I use their little, like, they have a mitt as well, which makes it go on so much smoother. The one caution I have for this is if you're a newbie to self-tanners, really, I don't know if mousses is the best way to start. I would start with kind of their lotions, then gradually move to their mousses, because the mousses dry really, really fast. So if you're not very careful, you can get that kind of streakiness. But if you are a pro star and you love the self-tanning stuff, I highly recommend checking this out. They do have it on the Sephora website and also in some of the Sephora stores that I've seen. And obviously, the more you layer this product, the tanner you will get. And what else do you guys need to know about this? It doesn't, I don't notice it kind of coming off of my clothes, maybe on my bra straps a little bit if I like put on my bra too quickly after I apply the self-tanner. Really great product to kind of start you off with that kind of subtle glow. For my face, there's a couple of different products that I use for a glow and for the bronze. So for the bronziness, I use the Pore No More Pores, not pour, singular. Wait. Pores No More Pore Refiner with a Hint of Tint. This is by Dr. Brandt. I got this at Sephora. It is actually a pore refiner which kind of smooths out the look of pores. It obviously is never going to shrink your pores, but it will kind of make them look less visible, if that makes any sense. And it has some bronzing elements in it. So I apply this with another product that I'm going to show you in a second as sort of my base kind of primers, I guess. The product that I mix it with is the Smashbox Artificial Light. This is a fantastic product. I used to use it actually as sort of a highlight, but I've learned to actually mix it in with my primers, and it gives you this really subtle sort of golden-y glow look. And I have really oily skin, and I find even using this at like all over my face, it doesn't look glittery or like shiny because I use a matte foundation on top, and it just kind of dials down the glow a little bit. But if you do have dry skin, you know, using this, mixing it with like your foundation if you want or something like that, will give you this beautiful glow. I love this product. Now obviously these two products can be quite pricey. I got both of them at Sephora, and I think this one is $50 and this one's probably like $30. I could be wrong, but again, I'm just estimating. And that's really pricey. If this is out of your price range, you can skip them all together and go for another product that I actually really love. And it's by L'Oreal, and it's the Magic Lumi Light Infusing Primer. It doesn't have the bronzing effect, but it does give you that same sort of, not shimmery, but sort of a golden dewiness, I guess. And it acts as a great base. It doesn't break me out at all, and it's a much cheaper alternative for those of you that are on a budget. Now my foundation is super matte and fairly heavy. Yeah, heavy is the best word for this. So my skin looks very one-dimensional once I apply my foundation, and it just looks really awkward unless you do a little bit of subtle contouring. And I use my bronzer for that, and I use the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Matte Bronzing Powder with Real Cocoa, and it's the milk chocolate one. I talked about this in my May favorites, used it on my wedding. I love, love, love this product. You can go check out that video if you want more information on it. I use this to apply my bronzer and not a big fluffy brush because I'm trying to contour into the kind of angles of my face, so that where I put it, I kind of put it just underneath the cheekbone here and kind of bring it in a little bit, but concentrating all the product back by the kind of ear area and bring it forward. And you can feel where your cheekbone is, and that's the easiest way to apply it. And then I kind of bring it up along my temples, up here, all the way around, repeating on the other side as well, and then down along the jawline as well. Now, make sure, whatever you do, worst thing ever is when the girls, they apply the bronzer and then they have a really, really pasty white neck. Oh, the worst. So what I do is I take my big fluffy powder brush, I dip it in the bronzer, and then I apply it to my neck, making sure everything is blended and smooth. Sometimes I'll add a little bit to kind of like the collarbone area too, but just make sure everything is kind of one natural color. Huge thing for me, guys, seriously. Like, no masks. No masks. I don't want to see it. For blush, lately I have been going back to one of my all-time favorite blushes. I have not used this in forever, and then I rediscovered it right before my wedding, and I was like, yes, this is the product. I need to use this. And it is my NARS blush in Orgasm, and it's this beautiful, soft petal pink with a hint of sort of a golden undertone to it. And it's not frosty, it's not glittery, but it adds this beautiful sort of sheen to your skin. So I apply it with this sort of tulip shaped brush that I don't have on me anyway. Tulip shaped brush. And I kind of dip it in and I apply it. You know what? I'm just gonna go get it. I'm gonna go get it. This is not good for explaining. Tulip shaped brush. This one is by Sedona Lace. And I kind of rub it into the product because I find it's not it's not overly pigmented, so you can load up your brush a little bit without looking like a clown. So I kind of roll it around with the tulip brush around the edges of the brush, and then I sort of apply it just on the cheekbone and a little bit below, kind of overlapping over the bronzer, and just kind of applying, again, concentrating all of the product back up against the temple area and then bringing it forward, right? I also bring it up along the temple area as well, just kind of above the eyebrow, so bringing it up in sort of a C shape here. It just adds a little bit more of a glow, adds a little bit of color. I don't know. I really like the effect. It's not for everyone. It's what I do. Hi, I'm just filming. Pardon? Do you want to talk about bronzer? What was I talking about? Darn it, Christopher. So now that we have the bronzer on, we have our blush on, and now we're going to go into the highlight. And I was actually introduced this by one of the employees at Sephora. She did my makeup before I went and I'm not talking properly. I went and got my makeup done at Sephora before my wedding because I wanted to test out different makeup looks, and I wanted to get another, like an actual legit professional's opinion, because I'm not a makeup artist by any means. And one thing that she did that I absolutely loved is she applied the Benefit High Beam just kind of above the cheekbones here. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. So what I end up doing, and I love the way this looks, is I use this big fan brush, and this is the only fan brush I have. You can get a thinner one, and obviously it would probably work a little bit better. This one's kind of on the thick side, but I have it, it works. I don't feel like spending more money on a thinner one, personally. This one is by Sedona Lace. I know Sephora carries a bunch of brushes as well, so you could do that instead, or whatever you have on hand. And what I do is it has like a little brush kind of applicator in here. I put it on my hand, screw it back on because you don't want it spilling all over the place, and then I sort of dab it with the fan brush, and I apply it just along here, along the top of the cheekbone, and then bring it up just on top of the eyebrow. And that's going to create this beautiful, very natural glow, especially like when the light hits it. It's just going to look really natural and pretty and dewy, and I love the effect, and the product's amazing. Just make sure that you blend it very well, just so you don't get any sort of streakiness. I haven't noticed any myself, but I mean, it's a liquid highlighter. If you're not careful, it's gonna streak. One last thing that I like doing to kind of enhance that sort of glowiness is I like to lighten under the eye area. I think it covers up my dark circles a lot better. It adds sort of a light reflective property that adds again to that glowiness, and there's a couple of products that I do to achieve that. And I use the Magic Lumi, again, same product as the primer, but this one is for the under eyes. And I use it as a concealer actually. You can use it as sort of a base for your concealer as well, which is great, and I find that works better than applying concealer and then putting this on top. So what I do is I apply it all the way along from the inner corner to the outer corner, just dots. You don't want to like cake on the product, but just a little bit. And then I kind of set it with my ring finger and kind of blend it in. And then what I do is I apply my regular concealer as well as a shade lighter. I blend them together and I the tiniest amount, guys, apply it just on top and sort of blend it back up along to my temples. And this just creates a sort of lightning effect without, you have to be very careful with this. You don't want to look like a raccoon when you're doing this, guys. So be careful, just make sure it's super blended. You want it to just look very natural and fresh. And that is it. That is all of the products that I use to create that sort of bronzy, glowy look. I feel like I've said those words so much in this video. Ridiculous. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and picked up some tips and tricks. Feel free to leave me a comment below with any of your favorite products that you use for the summertime and getting that sort of dewy bronzy look. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will talk to you all soon. Love you, girls. Mwah.